Yes. Okay. Thank you, Mary. And thank you, everybody, for your kind attention. We would like to conclude this beautiful day of presentations with our last student, Andre Sudol. And I'm going to read a little bit about you, Andre. Andre is a drummer and composer from South Florida with an objective to strike a balance between intricate composition and adventurous improvisation. He completed his bachelor in music at the University of Southern California. It is influenced by jazz, 20th century classical music, and film music. Andres tries to emphasize and revitalize music as a storytelling medium. And for his presentation, his advisor is Bruno, and his committee member is Chase Morin. Please welcome Andre Sudol.
Thank you for that introduction, Marco. My name is Andre Sudol, and this is Atagahi, the Enchanted Lake, musical storytelling and humans' relationship with nature. So the aim of this project was to explore and emphasize music as a vehicle for storytelling. The project features a 20-minute long composition for a 5-piece chamber ensemble plus jazz quartet that follows the narration of a Cherokee folktale, Atagahi, which both evokes a sense of wonder, mystery, and respect towards nature, while warning us what might happen if we abandon this respect. The narration will simply guide the listener's imaginations in the right direction, allowing the music to do a majority of the storytelling. In doing so, I aim to reverse the conventional role of music as just an accompaniment to storytelling, as is commonly observed in media. I believe that music has the ability to evoke a nuanced sense of setting, atmosphere, and character, and can immerse any listener in an abstract but uniquely vivid journey. I think that using narration as an accompaniment to the music will allow this storytelling capability to be fully realized, as the narration will simply guide the listener, providing a bit of concrete imagery to the abstract musical story. I decided on this instrumentation since I find that it reflects the oral nature of folktales. The chamber ensemble can play complex, arranged passages, and the jazz quartet can replicate the improvisational aspect of oral storytelling. When I presented my initial idea to Marco, without a specific story chosen yet, he told me that it was an interesting idea, but that I was missing the most important part. What story do I want to tell? So this got me thinking that the mystery and awe of nature has always been a primary inspiration to me, and I've often tried to convey the beauty and nuance of different atmospheres and landscapes in my music. I was already interested in folktales due to the childlike wonder that they evoke. I also appreciate their ability to both explain something's existence in a mysterious way and convey a moral message. These combined interests directed me towards folktales surrounding America's national parks. Through telling this story, I aim to remind listeners that nature is not something to be dominated, but to be treated with great respect, and urge listeners to educate themselves on indigenous rights and how we can learn from Native communities. Now, please enjoy an abridged version of my musical telling of Atagahi, the Enchanted Lake, guided by the narration of Tarine Musavi, who you should please welcome with a warm applause. Alrighty.
Hidden deep within the Smoky Mountains, there's an enchanted lake that humans cannot see, known as Atagahi. The most beautiful place imaginable, visible only to animals. It is a sanctuary for them, a place to hide from the hunters. a place to heal in its sacred waters. To find Atagahi, it is told that seekers must awaken their inner spirit with diligent meditation and prayer. Then, the sound of the wings of thousands of birds flying overhead will guide them to the beautiful oasis. One brave young man was committed to the search for Atagahi. He spent weeks fasting, meditating, praying, and exploring the most remote, uncharted corners of the Smoky Mountains. After weeks of searching, the man awoke to the sounds of birds. As he followed the sound, he noticed the animals, squirrels, bees, snakes, all urging him in the same direction, as if his spirit had suddenly been awakened by the forest's hidden language. The animals increased in number, guiding him, until suddenly the foliage cleared and he found himself at the edge of a beautiful violet lake, enclosed by great cliffs whose faces bubbled with clear water, which fell into the lake below. The shore was speckled with the footprints of thousands of animals, and the lake was filled with fish, birds, and bears bathing in its healing waters. courageous bear approached the man, warning him that while he had been blessed with the discovery of the Enchanted Lake, he was not to hunt, fish, or abuse the sacred land, and so he promised. Seasons passed and winter came. A terrible winter bringing the Cherokee to the brink of starvation. Faced with no other choice, the young man returned to Atagahi to bring food back to his family. With his bow, he shot a great black bear. The animal fell into the purple waters and emerged healed. "Betrayal," said the bear, and the skies darkened. Animals crawled forth from all around Lake Atagahi, overcoming the man for breaking his oath.
Sudol.
Thank you. Thank you to the incredible musicians that played on this project. And a very special thanks to Danilo Perez, Marco Pignataro, Tamar Diesentruck, and the entire Global Jazz family. And also to Bruno Raberg and Chase Morin for guiding me throughout this project.
Wow, congratulations. Wow. All right. So let's follow the form here. So Chase, as you're the committee member, why don't you start with your comments?
Oh no. Okay. Yeah. Andre, I mean, I'm learning from you, to be honest. Like you're composing the music you're creating, it's brilliant. I mean, just from the very first moment you showed me the music you're writing, the scores and playing through the Sibelius files, I was kind of like, my mouth is just open. Like, okay, here we go. You know, such a strong vocabulary. I hear, you know, such huge influences for you and like Wayne and Stravinsky and a lot of amazing composers, and you're digesting it in your own personal way, and it's incredible. It's just, it's really breathtaking. And, you know, when I was listening to this, one thing came to mind, something maybe that could, you know, be an addition for the journey to continue, is checking out Duke, actually, and thinking about, here's the reason why I thought about this, actually, because I was listening, I was like, man, this music is so hard. I'm remembering this session and like just barely hanging on, trying to like get into this material and thinking about the way Duke cultivated music with musicians specifically and the incredible composer orchestrator he was, but also that relationship with specific musicians. I think that may be a direction for you, because I'm just imagining this music, like this is the kind of music that you would sit with for years and years and years and develop with specific artists, like with the collective or something like that. And that may be something that, you know, that could be, I don't know, there's so many directions I could see this. I could see this being performed with large orchestras, you know, with you doing commissions for all these different kind of things, bringing this element to the table, and but also developing maybe like a band, like ensembles with specific players. I think that could also be amazing. Develop the vocabulary of this and even get more free with it. I'm inspired. I hope I can be part of that journey, and just thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much.
Congratulations, Andre. Fantastic music and story. The whole thing was such a deep joy to follow all the way through, which I haven't done before. This is the first time I hear everything put together. So a couple of comments first. Are you planning on releasing this the way it is, pretty much?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
Yeah. Well, this was there was like maybe 5 minutes edited out of this.
Okay. Yeah, and there's just two comments I have. I felt like the first motif, the main motif, was repeated too many times. It felt overused to me. And then there was a couple of places where the music lacked direction. I felt that it was sort of just you know, very, very static. Other than that, I think it was fantastic. And for you to put this together in this short time is also really incredible. And I know you put a lot into the thought process, how you're going to record, because you couldn't have everybody at once. And if you don't, you know, I know that you recorded separately, but if I didn't know, it would just sound like everybody played together. So that's a really, really fantastic job. Can you explain some aspects about the compositional process for us? Would be super interesting.
Yeah. So I really wanted to focus on this aspect of like storytelling and cinematography through music. So I kind of thought about it in a way of like the story, creating a storyboard almost, and you know, different landscapes from the Smoky Mountains, the setting that I wanted to portray. And I would kind of, you know, list out, like a storyboard of like, you know, the whole first movement I kind of thought of as like, you know, both the story, but also establishing shots of the Smoky Mountains. So there were different landscapes that I wanted to portray, and then figuring out how to translate that into music. And yeah, I mean, I could get into like more of the like harmonic stuff, but I don't know if that's necessary, but that was generally the process behind it.
Yeah. Thank you again. Beautiful project.
Thank you.
And appreciate get to work with you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bruno. Andre, I don't have a question, but I have a comment. I'm trying to, you know, formulate the words in my head, but I don't know if in English there is a similar saying, but in Italy we have the saying that, you know, loosely translated says, "Quiet waters break bridges." And I think that's really what these images when I see you and what you did this year, and finishing your year this way, where we all like really enjoying the power of your music and how powerful you are as a human being. But, you know, you have been a person from the first day of the program, you know, bringing this sweet calmness and always present and always, you know, collaborative. Never heard a complaint from you about anything. Always, you know, on time, always answer email, and then you end up with this is like a beautiful, beautiful tribute to the program, and I'm so glad you're part of it. So that's all I want to say.
Oh, thank you so much.
I want that.
So I want to add one thing I forgot. Beautiful drumming. Yes. And yeah. And I heard you with many other projects also, and your drumming is very. You're composing at the drum set, and you're right with the compositions, if it's yours or others, and there's a lot of space in your drumming, and never covering things up. So yeah, a big compliment to that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Amazing work. Fantastic, man. Unbelievable. And I want to say just a couple things that, one, before I forget, I actually went into a zone listening to this music. And I had that feeling of like 3D listening to this, like surround sound. So I will explore this in collaborations with Museum of Science, Museum 3D, like other dimensions. You need other dimensions because you are tapping into other dimensions. I felt like high, really.
Thank
I
you.
mean, that's the feeling, like underwater and all of that. You really give a sense of that. So it would be good to explore maybe with a multimedia, a creative artist that would do that. Kudos to Tarane. Tarane, you got an amazing voice for this. Yeah. Happening. Yeah, just happening. Storytelling. And I want to say something. I think after the pandemic, and we are in a crisis, the identity and depression and all of that. And I learned a lot this year. And as I am thinking about what to say this year to this class, I was thinking about how much of kudos do you all have? And especially somebody like you who know how to balance. After a pandemic, I think it was hard to balance the output and the input in within ourselves. And you were a perfect example of when you resonate with that equal of input and output. This is where you are right now, brother. Yes.
Thank you.
Congratulations. It's an honor to work with you.
Thanks, Cats.
Tomorrow, 10 o'clock, the second day of presentation. I hope to see you all there. Thank you for coming. Thank you.